In 1970, the legendary Suzuki Jimny was born. Since then, the Jimny has had 4 generations, having an evolutionary design language, which means you can easily trace the new Jimny to its ancestors. 51 years later, the new Jimny comes with better looks, better performance, and an unmatched off-road capability. Join me as I take you through the journey of the 2021 Suzuki Jimny. So guys, the Jimny is extremely good to drive on road. As you can see, the manual transmission is amazing. It's quite good, even better than the automatic, because you're so much in control of the car. But immediately what you start noticing is you have such a high riding position, and so you are able to see the environs very nicely. So your position is such an SUV position. It allows you to have a view of everything around yourself. The ride itself is soft. It's not very hard. I know people were used to the older Jimnys that were very hard on suspension, but this one has been softened up kidogo. So the suspension is pretty accommodating for someone that wants a smooth ride. Picks up very well, picks up speed extremely well. You can do highway cruises without really having to worry about whether you will be able to overtake cars ahead of you with ease. So it's a nice cruise. The stability is good, as you can see. I'm just doing a bit of zigzags here, right? So the car handles pretty well, but it's not a sports car, so you're not expected to throw it around sana. You're not expected to push the car around too much. I will definitely recommend this for someone that wants an off-roader that is also smooth on-road, around corners. You have to be careful not to negotiate at very high speeds, because the COG is pretty high. Otherwise, on straight drives and roads that are not very curved, you will be fine in the Jimny. And as you can see on road, the noise is quite insulated. It's not a very noisy car. You're not hearing the engine as much. It has cruise control, so guys, above the speeds of 40, you can set your cruise control, and the vehicle will maintain the speed which you are cruising at. So it's quite interesting that even in the Jimny you get technology, the cruise control technology. Yeah. So when you're doing highway speeds, you can have your foot off the accelerator and the brake pedals, and have your speeds controlled from here, from the steering wheel. So that allows you to have such an easy driving experience. Yo guys, today we get to review the 2021 Jimny and find out why does everybody love this car? Why is the world so crazy about this unit? Why is every country fighting for units to sell? Why is everybody looking forward to owning one? So today we are here to find out, and this vehicle is built on a very nice design, off-road design that is boxy and very rugged. This allows you to be able to tackle any terrain, because with this kind of looks, you're not worried about something getting scratched or being hit when you're on your off-road tours. But at the same time, this vehicle, as much as it is an off-road car, it also carries a lot of technology on board. It carries LED headlights. It carries halogen fog lights down here. It has a very stylish bumper, as you can see. It's a very reliable bumper, very practical, and giving you very nice clearance from the front, as you can see. It also carries the design of the Suzuki. These are the upright bars on the bumper. This has been there since 1970, when the Jimny was first brought into production. So I would like us to look at the side view of this car and see what it looks like from the side. And before we even go to the side, you can see right here, it has headlight washers Not many cars carry headlight washers, so as you off-road and mud comes to your headlights, you can always wash it from the inside, and it's clean for you to go on with your tours. It has 15-inch alloys. These are very strong alloy wheels that allow you to go to any off-road terrain. You're not worried of them being scratched. They are strong, they are hard, they're practical, they're not easily damageable. So they are manufacturer alloys, so you don't expect them to crack when you hit a pothole and all that. So they are quite strong. As you can see, it has very nice and hard material here to protect your bodywork and your paint job, so that when the stones are being thrown, they don't have to damage your paint job, which is a very nice paint, as you can see. Talking of paint, this vehicle comes in several colors. It comes in the jungle green, which we have here. It comes in kinetic yellow, that's the bright green that has been the flagship color of the Jimny since it was launched. We have it in silver, gray, white, black. Yeah. Now moving on to the side, I know one of the reasons why this car sells the most, it's because of the ground clearance. This vehicle has 21 centimeters of ground clearance, which allows it to be quite practical when you're off-roading in a very rocky terrain, or when you're in a mud terrain. You have good clearance to clear any obstacles. At the front, we have a 37 degrees approach angle. We have 28 degrees of breakover angle, and then we have 49 degrees at the back here for the departure angle. This allows you to get over any obstacle easily without any challenges, and you can be sure to cross over anything and to approach any sort of terrain without really having to harm your bumper or your chassis or the backside of your bumper as well. Also, this car comes with ladder frame chassis. What this means, it is the chassis has been, the body has been built on top of the chassis, which allows the vehicle to be quite strong for off-road kind of roads. This will allow you to go to any terrain without having to worry about the vehicle not being flexible enough to handle any terrain. Talking of off-road, the vehicle has the ability to brake each wheel independently. So when a wheel lacks traction on road, the circulation of that wheel is braked by the engine, and that power is transferred to wheels that have traction. So this allows you to get out of very tricky and muddy situations. So it's a very nice technology that allows you to have maximum traction at any given point. Things are quite direct at the back of this unit. We have the brake lights down here, the reverse lights down here. This is the handle for opening the boot door. We have a third brake light up here, and as you can see, we have a full spare wheel. This spare wheel, only that we have it in the cover. Normally without the cover, you will notice it is a normal tire like this with alloys. So you're given a full spare wheel with factory alloy wheels. So that's excellent, guys. You get manufacturer alloy wheels with a spare wheel. With the 4 seats up, you don't have much storage space right here. But you know, when you're carrying 4 people with a Jimny, you might have to have a carrier built for you up here to carry your luggage for camping and all that. But when you're 2 guys and the seats are down, the space is excellent. So as you can see, when I throw the seats down like this, when I put them down, the space is excellent. When you're 2 of you, you can have all your camping gear here. So the engine of the Jimny, it's quite nice. It's a 1500cc 4-cylinder with an output of 101 horsepower and 130 Newton meters of torque. So it's pretty powerful, considering the vehicle only weighs roughly 1 ton, which means the power to weight ratio numbers are pretty good. First of all, let me say it's a lovely car to sit in. The seats are they're very comfortable. They hold you in position. I'm quite comfortable in this vehicle. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. It's just comfortable enough for you to take on those long trips you want to do and the short trips in the city. Now, I'll begin with the most basic thing, which is starting the engine. You can feel the car is quite silent. Even when the engine is on, you don't really feel a lot of engine noise coming in on this car as you drive this car. Now, beginning with the gauge clusters here, we have the speedometer on the right side, the rev counter on the left, and then we have some information screen here, some digital information screen right here. This allows you to see all your information of the car, the speed you're driving at, the RPM and all that. So it's quite simple. Moving on to the steering wheel, it's leather. The steering wheel is leather. You have your infotainment controls on the left. You can change from a radio station to Bluetooth mode. You can change from one station to the next station. You can mute your radio from here. Then, guys, I know this may come as a surprise. The Jimny has cruise control. So you can be able to set the speed which you want to remain at on highway speeds, and set maybe at 80 kilometers per hour, and it will stick to that speed. You can increase it from here or decrease it from these buttons right here. You don't have to use your accelerator or your brakes. Now, I want us to review the infotainment system, because this thing really stands out. This is where you get an advantage over importing used cars from Japan, because this one comes with a localized radio. The radio stations go all the way to 100 and 110. So all these other stations that you don't find on Japanese screens, you'll find them here, because the vehicle is meant for Kenyan market. It has been localized. The suspension systems, the radio, everything made for Kenya. The AC made for Kenya. So it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. All right. So what that means, you can fully link up. As you can see, my phone is connected with a cable. So when you connect with a cable and Bluetooth, your phone gets fully linked up with the infotainment system. What this means is you can have all the information on your phone on this screen. You can have your dial pad here. You will have your Spotify here. You will have your Apple Music right there. Now, for example, let's see what applications are available. All right. We have maps. We have Spotify. We have your phone app, Suzuki app, of course, Apple Music, messages, WhatsApp. We have podcasts. We have basically everything. Telegram. You can do all your operations from this screen without touching your phone. What this means, it makes your driving experience safe, because you don't have to touch your phone when you're driving. And to make the experience even better, it has a voice command system. Now, moving down here, we have the AC. This is what I love about this car: simplicity. The modern technology has complicated things. For you to find temperature control and fan speed, you have to go into screens and stuff. This car has kept it simple. They are simple rotational dials. You don't have to start looking for screens and stuff. You just rotate it and your fan speed is on. You rotate this one and your temperature control is on. You have your AC button. You have where the intake options here, the mode off. Everything is simple, easy to identify. Everything, you can find it. Now, the most controversial question, how do you open the windows on the Jimny? Because there are no controls on the sides, as you can see. The door is very thin and simple. So how do you open? We have 4 buttons right here, and these are very critical to the day-to-day operations of the Jimny. So with this one, you use it to shoot, to lower the right window, as you can see. And clearly, there's a lot of space. Once you open this window, basically it's like you're seated outside, because the whole outside environment gets in. All right. The right side, you use this button on there. The left side, you use this button on the left side. And then we have traction off button here. You can switch off your traction if you want to do some donuts around a racetrack and stuff. Of course, I will not advise you to do that in the Jimny. It's not meant for racing and stuff. Then here we have a hill descent control button. I'll definitely demonstrate this when we go off-road. When you press this, the vehicle will determine the speed it will use to go down a hill. It will accelerate itself, it will slow itself down. Guys, as you can see, this is a manual transmission. A lot of people may not know how to operate the manual transmission, but for car enthusiasts, this is the thing. This is how everyone wants the car, because you are in full control of your car. You can shift gears from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and reverse, which gives you a lot of control. Moving on from the gear, there's nothing much to talk about. We will look at the 4-wheel systems here. We have 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. So 2 high is where you should always drive your car when you're on road terrains. That means you're only using the rear wheels. It is a rear wheel drive until you engage the 4-wheel. Then it brings in the front wheels as well. So the default position is 2 high. And then if you go to a place where the car is losing traction, but it's not too bad of an off-road, you use 4 high, 4H right here. And then if things get really bad, you press the gear down and then you engage the 4 low. As you can hear, it has actually physically engaged. And when it's on 4 low, basically it's like driving a tractor. You can get out of anywhere with that mode. Coming to the center console, it has a normal handbrake right here and a small storage space and 2 cup holders back here. I'm not a very short guy, neither am I too tall, but with the front seat, the driver's seat set to my most comfortable position, I still have a little bit of legroom. As you can see, very tiny. Okay, not very tiny, but moderately okay. I'll be fine for a 500-kilometer journey right here. And then you can see the headroom right here. This is over 20 centimeters of headroom. This explains to you why the boxy shape comes in so handy when you get inside this car. The boxy shape allows it to have a lot of room. And yeah, that's the backseat experience. After driving the Jimny through the various terrains and reviewing the interior and exterior designs, the Jimny has proven to be so much value for money. Why don't you come get yours today from Suzuki at Toyota Kenya?